Today's discussion is about the atom, and this is at the beginning of your electricity and magnetism notes on the first page where it talks about the atom. We will come back to this slide, but before I do that, I want to talk to you about the atom and what is the atom. The atom is defined as the smallest particle of a substance that can exist by itself or be combined with other atoms to form a molecule. So what does that mean? Well, all matter is made up of atoms. Now, some of those atoms can exist by themselves. Other atoms need to be combined with other atoms to form a molecule in order to be stable and exist in nature that way. An example of a molecule is the water molecule, which is made up of 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen atoms. So when we see water, water is actually a molecule of those, we call it H2O for 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. Now, when we say things like hydrogen and oxygen, we're talking about the elements. And on the periodic table of elements, we have a listing of elements that make up all of the matter. Now, keep in mind, matter is anything that has mass and takes up space. So things like the desk in the classroom, the walls, the floor, your batteries, those things are matter. Things in the room that are not matter are things like the temperature in the room, the light in the room, the sound in the room. Those things are energy. And all things in the universe are either matter or energy. But we're talking about the atom, which is the building blocks of matter. So going back to the atom is made up of 3 different particles, and that is the proton, neutron, and the electron. Now, the proton and neutron are packed together inside the nucleus, which is in the center of the atom, and the electron moves on the outside of the atom. Now, these particles can either have a charge or not have a charge. Protons are positive, electrons are negative, and neutrons are neutral. So if we go to the slide, we see that protons are positively charged particles that are located in the nucleus. So protons are positive. Both of those start with P. Protons are positive and they're located inside the nucleus. Protons also have mass that account for a good part of the mass of the atom. The neutrons are neutral, and neutral means no charge. Notice that the first 5 letters of neutrons, N-E-U-T-R, is the same as the first 5 letters of neutral, N-E-U-T-R-A-L. So neutrons are neutral, meaning that they have no charge. They also account for some of the mass of the atom, and they're located in the nucleus or in the center of the atom. Now, the electrons, they're on the outside of the atom, and they have 1/2000th of the amount of mass of the proton. So they're able to move around the outside of the atom really, really fast because they barely account for any of the mass inside the atom, and they're moving at a very, very fast rate. Electrons are negatively charged, and they're zooming around the outside of the atom in what we know as the electron cloud. So there's a few blanks from this slide for you to copy into the notes for today about the atom.